really walking around on TikTok, well, not walking around, but was on TikTok parading this man around, and now you're getting sued for $1 million. What?
Brenay, you done made a couples page with a man that's still married, you still married, and y'all going through a lawsuit? Y'all must be trying to give Akira and Devon all y'all money.
She is wanting to be in a relationship with my cousin again.
The marriage that y'all were separated before. Thank you. How can you scream? And I've been in your life since in your life alone for over half of what she's ever been in your life before. So how can you scream? Oh my gosh, Brenay ruined my marriage. She cheated and this and that and the third. How can I do this? How can I ruin a marriage that was already broken?
You think you know the story of Brenay and Tim, but trust me, you don't. What's been circulating online barely scratches the surface. Because behind the smiling photos, the staged moments, and the public performances lies a truth so messy, so shocking, that most people are too scared to even talk about it. For years, fans and followers bought into the image. Brenay and Tim, the couple who seemed inseparable, who presented themselves as untouchable. But insiders say what really went down between them is far darker. Betrayal, lies, secret deals, hidden motives, and the kind of behind-closed-doors chaos that could flip their entire narrative upside down if it ever got fully exposed. The craziest part. It's all been right in front of us. The red flags, the cryptic posts, the sudden disappearances and reappearances. People ignored them. People chose not to believe. But now, the leaks, the messages, the whispers they're too loud to be brushed aside. So here's the real question. Why has this truth been buried for so long? Who's protecting Brenay and Tim's image? And who benefits from keeping the full story hidden? Stay locked in, because what you're about to hear will change the way you see them forever. To understand why the truth about Brenay and Tim is shaking the internet right now, we have to go back to the beginning. Because this wasn't just some random couple that blew up overnight. Their story, the way they rose, the way they branded themselves, and the way cracks slowly began to show was a slow-burning fuse leading to an inevitable explosion. Who are Brenay and Tim? On the surface, Brenay and Tim presented themselves as the picture-perfect couple. They were everywhere: curated Instagram posts, viral TikToks, interviews where they praised each other endlessly. They built a reputation as the unbreakable duo, the pair who could outlast drama, rumors, and industry chaos. But behind that public image, insiders claim the relationship was built on a shaky foundation of deals, compromises, and secrets. Brenay was ambitious, determined to carve her name into the spotlight no matter the cost. Tim, meanwhile, was calculated, more business-minded, more concerned with image and control than authentic connection. Together, they seemed unstoppable, but those close to them say it wasn't love holding them together, it was leverage. The rise of the brand, their story truly took off when they turned their relationship into content. Every date night became a post. Every inside joke became a reel. Every disagreement, carefully staged, carefully edited, became relatable drama that fans ate up like candy. They weren't just a couple, they were a brand. And that brand made them money. Sponsorships, brand deals, appearances. Everyone wanted a piece of Brenay and Tim. They capitalized on the image of loyalty, commitment, and perfection. But with every check they cashed, they built higher expectations. Fans expected flawless devotion. Industry eyes expected longevity. And the pressure mounted. The first cracks, a Perthis who paid attention saw the cracks early. Brenay began posting cryptic captions, vague lines about trust, about knowing your worth, about fake love. Fans brushed them off as harmless quotes, but insiders claimed those were shots at Tim. Tim, on the other hand, started showing up at events without Brenay. No explanations, no joint posts afterward, just silence. When fans questioned it, the couple would suddenly reappear together days later, acting as if nothing happened. Close friends whispered that Brenay felt controlled, that Tim made the big decisions behind the scenes, dictating what they could or couldn't share. It was a cycle. A cryptic post, an unexplained absence, a sudden happy couple appearance. Again and again, the ignored red flags. But here's the wildest part. People ignored it. Fans didn't want to believe their favorite couple could be fractured. When Screenshots leaked of heated DMs between them. Supporters claimed they were fake. When a video surfaced of Tim arguing with Brenay at a club, fans said it was just a lover's spat. The truth was there. The red flags were waving. But the myth of Brenay and Tim was too powerful for most people to confront. It was easier to believe in the fairy tale than to accept the chaos underneath. Why now? Why the truth is bursting out, so why is it all unraveling now? Because the leaks are no longer whispers. They're evidence. Screenshots of late-night arguments. Audio clips of Brenay venting to friends. Messages where Tim allegedly threatened to end the brand if she didn't comply. And once those receipts started dropping, the internet couldn't ignore it anymore. Suddenly, the narrative flipped. The couple once seen as goals are now under a microscope. People are re-examining every old post, every suspicious disappearance, every cryptic caption, and realizing the truth was always there. The pressure cooker. It's important to understand Brenay and Tim weren't just in a relationship with each other. They were in a relationship with their audience. Every fight wasn't just personal, it was public. Every decision wasn't just between two people, it was between two people and millions of eyes watching. And that pressure cooker environment? It doesn't just expose cracks, it widens them. The setup for the first twist, and now we're here. The world is finally seeing the real story, the betrayal, the manipulation, the control, and asking, what really went down behind closed doors? Because according to insiders, the biggest betrayal hasn't even been revealed yet. There's one moment, one secret that insiders claim will completely destroy the carefully built brand of Brenay and Tim. And when that truth comes out, there may be no going back. The whispers, the cryptic posts, the strange disappearances, all of it had been building to this moment. For years, Brenay and Tim managed to dance around the rumors, carefully maintaining their polished image. But then came the breaking point, the moment where the truth burst out so loudly that the internet couldn't look away anymore. And it all started with a leak. The leak that shattered the illusion. It wasn't a paparazzi photo. It wasn't a tabloid rumor. It was a voice memo. A 2-minute audio file began circulating online, first on Reddit, then on Twitter, then everywhere. The recording allegedly captured Brenay sobbing during a late-night call with a close friend. Her voice cracked as she said, "I can't keep doing this. He controls everything. He says if I walk away, I'll lose everything, even my name." The friend on the other end tried to console her, but the damage was already done. Fans who heard it were stunned. This wasn't the bubbly, confident Brenay they were used to seeing on social media. This was someone broken, trapped, and terrified. And in that moment, the illusion of Brenay and Tim as a perfect couple shattered. Tim's cold response when the audio went viral. Fans waited for Tim to respond. And when he finally did, his words poured gasoline on the fire. On his Instagram story, Tim wrote, "Don't believe everything you hear. People love to manipulate situations for sympathy. No apology, no compassion, no acknowledgement of Brenay's pain. Just denial and deflection." Within minutes, hashtags like #FreeBrenay and #TimExposed trended worldwide. Fans accused Tim of gaslighting not just Brenay, but the entire audience that had supported them for years. The social media explosion. Internet split into two camps. Team Brenay, she's been crying for help for years. Y'all ignored it. This explains the cryptic posts. She's been controlled. Tim built an empire off her pain. Team Tim, that audio could be fake. Why leak it now? Feels like a setup. Y'all are quick to cancel with no proof. But as more evidence started dropping, Tim's defenders grew quieter. The shocking screenshots just days after the voice memo leak, screenshots began circulating. DMs allegedly from Tim to Brenay painted a chilling picture. "If you walk away, I'll ruin you. Don't forget who made you. You are nothing without this brand. Without me. You don't leave unless I say so." Whether real or doctored, the screenshots spread like wildfire. Fans were horrified. The brand once seen as relationship goals now looked like a prison. Brenay breaks her silence. The moment that changed everything came when Brenay finally spoke publicly. In a tearful livestream, she admitted, "I've been quiet because I was scared. Scared of losing everything we built. But the truth is, what we built was never real. It was control. It was fear. And I can't pretend anymore. Millions tuned in. Within minutes, hashtag I stand with Brenay trended. Celebrities started weighing in. Influencers who once praised the couple now posted videos apologizing to Brenay for ignoring the signs. But the most shocking part, Brenay hinted at something even darker. What you've seen is only the surface. There are things I haven't shared yet, things that will change how you see him forever. And with that, she ended the stream. Tim's desperate move humiliated. Tim tried to flip the script. He posted a heavily edited video of him sitting in an office, calm and composed, saying, "People want to destroy what we built because they can't stand to see us succeed. Brenay knows the truth. We're stronger together. She'll come back. She always does." But instead of sympathy, the internet dragged him. The top comment on the post read, "This ain't love, this is possession." The first twist, the insider leaked just as things reached peak chaos. An insider dropped a bombshell. Tim hadn't just been controlling Brenay, he'd allegedly been using her name and likeness for secret business deals behind her back. According to leaked documents, Tim signed contracts using Brenay's personal brand as collateral, contracts worth thousands, maybe millions. If true, this wasn't just emotional manipulation, it was financial exploitation. And suddenly, fans realized Brenay wasn't just trapped emotionally, she might have been trapped legally too. The internet and shock blogs went crazy. YouTubers dropped hour-long breakdowns. Fans started digging through old posts, piecing together clues. One viral TikTok highlighted a 2021 clip where Brenay seemed uncomfortable while Tim spoke over her in an interview. Another pointed out how their merch line stopped featuring Brenay's name after a certain date, suggesting Tim had been shifting assets quietly. The narrative flipped again. This wasn't just a toxic relationship. It was a scandal. A scandal everyone had ignored. The cliffhanger, and then came the twist that froze the internet. A whistleblower account posted a cryptic message. Part 2 of the truth drops Friday. Receipts included. Tim won't survive this. Fans lost their minds. What more could possibly be revealed? What receipts? And why now? For the first time, Brenay and Tim's brand wasn't just in trouble, it was collapsing. And the promise of more leaks meant this story was far from over. The internet thought it had already seen the worst. The leaked audio, the screenshots, Brenay's tearful livestream, those moments had already shattered the illusion of Brenay and Tim as a flawless couple. But nothing, absolutely nothing, prepared fans for the bombshell receipts that dropped next. Because when the whistleblower promised evidence, they weren't bluffing. They delivered. And the revelations pushed the story from a messy breakup into the territory of full-blown scandal. The receipts dropped Friday morning. An anonymous Twitter account called at Unmasked Truths posted a 30-second clip that sent shockwaves through the culture. It wasn't edited. It wasn't cryptic, it was crystal clear. The video showed Tim in a private Zoom call with two businessmen. His words? "She doesn't need to know the details, as long as her name's on the contract. We're good. She trusts me. She'll sign whatever I put in front of her." The businessman nodded. Tim leaned back in his chair and smirked. The clip ended there. But that was enough. Fans exploded. Hashtag cancel Tim shot to the top of trending charts within minutes. Comment sections filled with outrage. This is exploitation. Straight up. He wasn't just toxic. He was stealing her identity. Brenay wasn't lying. He controlled everything. The documents surfaced as if the video wasn't damning enough. At Unmasked Truths dropped PDFs of contracts allegedly signed under Brenay's name. The deals tied her likeness and content rights to companies Brenay had never publicly endorsed. One deal included a clause giving Tim 80% of the revenue, all under her signature. Fans immediately began calling it forgery. Lawyers on Twitter chimed in, saying, if these documents are real, Tim could face serious legal consequences. The receipts turned speculation into proof. This wasn't just manipulation. It was business fraud. Brenay reacts with silence shockingly. Brenay didn't respond immediately. She went dark. No posts. No comments. Nothing. And that silence only fueled speculation. Was she being silenced? Was she in talks with lawyers? Or was she simply too devastated to speak? One viral TikTok with 5 million views showed a clip of her old livestream where she said, "There are things I haven't shared yet," the caption read. She knew this was coming. Celebrities step in now. The drama had gotten too big for celebrities to ignore. A list singer Shaw tweeted, "We've all seen women get silenced like this before. It's not new. Protect Brenay." Actor Michael B. Jordan posted on Instagram, "This story is bigger than gossip. It's about abuse of power." And rapper Cardi B went live saying, "He was using her like a damn credit card. That's not love. That's theft." Period. These endorsements shifted the narrative further. Brenay wasn't just a victim of manipulation. She was being exploited on a scale that could ruin her career if she didn't fight back. Tim's spiraling defense at him, on the other hand, panicked. He posted a 10-minute video rant on YouTube, claiming the clips were edited, the contracts fake, and the documents taken out of context. But fans weren't buying it. The top comment under his video read, "You weren't even denying it. You just mad you got caught." The dislike ratio skyrocketed. Memes of Tim's desperate expressions spread faster than his defense. He had lost the narrative badly. The darker twist, the hidden account gist when things couldn't get uglier. At Unmasked Truths dropped one last bombshell. They shared screenshots of a secret bank account allegedly tied to Tim. The account showed transfers of thousands of dollars labeled under Brenay's brand partnerships, but the money never reached her. Fans pieced it together. Tim had been siphoning money meant for Brenay into his own accounts. The betrayal wasn't just emotional or contractual, it was financial theft. The internet in full revolt. The internet snapped. Fans demanded brands cut ties with Tim. Within 24 hours, 2 companies issued statements saying they had terminated partnerships with him. Hashtags like #JusticeForBrenay and #TimTheFraud dominated TikTok. YouTubers began making hour-long documentaries dissecting the timeline of Brenay's captivity. One viral thread read, "Brenay wasn't just in a toxic relationship. She was being held hostage in her own career." The shocking reveal about the whistleblower, and then came the biggest twist yet. The whistleblower behind At Unmasked Truths revealed themselves in a live stream. It wasn't a random stranger. It wasn't a hacker. It was one of Tim's former business partners. They claimed, "I stayed silent for years because I was complicit. I watched him forge, manipulate, and steal." But seeing Brenay break down, that was the final straw. The revelation sent fans into overdrive. This wasn't gossip, this was testimony from someone who had been in the room. As the internet tore Tim apart, Brenay finally reappeared. In a short, shaky video, she looked directly at the camera and said, "I'm ready to tell you everything. All of it." Then she ended the video. No details, no timeline, just a promise. The comment section exploded. "Drop the documentary now. This is bigger than we thought. If she speaks, Tim is done." And just like that, the cliffhanger was set. The truth about Brenay and Tim wasn't finished. It was only getting started. The whistleblower had spoken. The receipts were out. Tim's empire was cracking, and Brenay's short but haunting video promising to tell everything left the world hanging on edge. But what happened next was even bigger. The world reacted, and not quietly. Fans, celebrities, brands, and even industry insiders weighed in, turning the Brenay and Tim scandal into the loudest story of the year. Fans take sides. The internet became a battlefield. Team Brenay. She was literally trapped in a contract prison. This isn't a relationship. It's exploitation. Tim should be in jail. Forget cancel culture. This is criminal. Imagine profiting off someone's trauma for years. We all owe Brenay an apology for ignoring the signs. Team Tim. What little was left. Why now? She's just mad he moved on. Those receipts could be fake. Internet people love to believe anything. She was happy to cash the checks until it suited her. But Brenay's silence and Tim's increasingly desperate defenses only made one thing clear. The momentum was all on her side. Celebrities break their silence. Celebrities begin weighing in like dominoes, falling one after another. Rapper Megan Thee Stallion tweeted, "Women been telling y'all what goes down behind the scenes." Brenay's story is the story of so many. Actress Zendaya wrote on her IG story, Strength isn't always loud. Sometimes it's surviving. Brenay deserves support, not judgment. Meanwhile, Kanye West of all people chimed in with a cryptic post, "Contracts are chains. Been telling y'all, now you see." The comments sparked chaos, with fans debating whether Ye was showing solidarity with Brenay or just using her story to amplify his own struggles with the industry. Brand's jumpship corporate partners wasted no time saving face. A luxury fashion label posted, "Effective immediately. We are ending our partnership with Tim. We stand with survivors of exploitation and abuse." A sneaker brand dropped a statement too, "We value transparency. Until Tim addresses these allegations, we are suspending all projects." The fallout was financial as much as it was personal. Every brand that once lined up to profit from Brenay and Tim was now running for the hills. The media circus mainstream outlets devoured the story. TMZ ran with, "Tim exposed in contract scandal, Brenay breaks her silence next." Rolling Stone headlined, "From love story to legal battle, the collapse of Brenay and Tim." Podcasts milked the drama. The Joe Budden podcast devoted an entire 2-hour episode to debating the receipts. True crime YouTubers jumped on it, calling the Brenay story a live case study in exploitation. Even news anchors weighed in. One CNN segment framed it as a cautionary tale about influencer culture and the dangers of turning relationships into business ventures. The streets react. This wasn't just online noise anymore. In New York, fans staged a Justice for Brenay rally, waving signs that read, "Contracts are cages and believe Brenay." In LA, murals appeared overnight. One painting showed Brenay with broken chains around her wrists. The caption, "She spoke. We heard." And in Tim's hometown, things got ugly. Protesters gathered outside one of his former brand sponsors' offices, chanting, "Cut ties with Tim. Cut ties with Tim." Industry insiders spill more tea behind the scenes. Whispers grew louder. Several anonymous insiders came forward to confirm that Tim had a reputation for bullying Brenay in meetings and making shady deals behind her back. One insider told a blog she was treated like a face, not a partner. He locked her in contracts and made sure she couldn't leave without losing everything. Another said, "People in the industry knew. We just didn't think she'd ever speak out." Now that she has, everyone's scrambling to cover themselves. Tim's meltdown. Meanwhile, Tim was spiraling. His last few posts frantic, defensive. Rambling only made things worse. In one Instagram live, he shouted, "Y'all don't know the truth. Y'all are sheep. She'll come crawling back when she realizes the brand can't survive without me." The clip went viral for all the wrong reasons. Fans tore him apart in the comments, calling him delusional, manipulative, and desperate. One viral tweet summed it up. "Every word out of Tim's mouth is another nail in his coffin." The cliffhanger reaction as the public frenzy reached its peak. Brenay finally posted again. Just 3 words. "Tomorrow, 6 p.m. The internet froze. Was she dropping the full story? A documentary? A legal bombshell? Nobody knew. But everyone was waiting. One fan wrote, "This is about to be bigger than the Amber Heard trial. Mark my words." And just like that, the cliffhanger was set. The world wasn't just watching Brenay and Tim anymore, it was waiting for her next move to deliver the knockout blow. The clock ticked down like a movie premiere. Tomorrow, 6 p.m. Those 3 words from Brenay had the entire internet on fire. Forums were refreshing by the second. Twitter was a live countdown. TikTok creators were predicting what she might reveal, from secret children to hidden lawsuits. But when PM hit, what Brenay dropped wasn't just a statement. It was a bombshell. Brenay's video dropped. She appeared on screen with no makeup, no glam, no background music. Just her in a plain room, visibly trembling but steadying herself as she began. "For years, I was told to smile for the camera, to play my role, to act like everything was perfect. But it wasn't. It was a lie. And today, I need to tell you what really happened." She described in chilling detail how Tim allegedly forced her into signing contracts she didn't understand, manipulated her into thinking she couldn't survive without him, and even isolated her from friends and family who tried to intervene. But then came the twist nobody saw coming. The hidden child allegation. Through tears, Brenay revealed, He wasn't just controlling my career. He was hiding another life, another family, another child. The internet froze. According to Brenay, Tim had allegedly fathered a child with another woman, a secret he kept hidden while building the perfect couple brand with her. She said she found out by accident after seeing a document with his name listed on a child support case. Fans gasped in disbelief. The story wasn't just about exploitation anymore, it was about betrayal on the deepest level. Receipts. Again, and Brenay didn't stop at words. She showed blurred out documents proving Tim's name was listed on court filings. She showed text messages of Tim allegedly threatening her when she confronted him. "If you say a word, I'll ruin you before you ruin me." The evidence sent shockwaves across the internet. It was no longer a messy breakup. It was a scandal with enough weight to end Tim's career permanently. The world reacts in real time the moment the video ended. Social media erupted like never before. Fans, a hidden child. Tim is finished. He exploited her and cheated on her and had another family. I feel sick. How did we not see this before? Celebrities. Doja Cat posted, "You can't call it love when you've got secrets like that." Lizzo tweeted, "The strongest women are the ones who finally speak. Proud of you, Brenay." Even Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson weighed in, commenting, "Respect for standing strong and speaking your truth." It was no longer just gossip. It was global. Tim's final meltdown. Hours later, Tim tried to fight back. He went live again, pacing his room, sweating, rambling. "That ain't my kid. She lying. She's bitter. She's just trying to destroy me because I left first." But his frantic energy made it worse. The live was clipped, mocked, memed, and torn apart in minutes. The top comment under one viral clip read, "Bro looks like he knows it's over." The cliffhanger. A legal bomb. As the dust settled, Brenay posted one final update. "This isn't just my story anymore. Lawyers are involved, and the next time you hear from me, it will be in court." Fans screamed in the comments. A legal battle? Court filings? This wasn't just an internet feud anymore, it was about to get real, with consequences that could strip Tim of everything he built. One viral tweet summed it up. "This isn't over. It's about to get uglier, and Tim better lawyer up." And with that, the world was left hanging. Brenay had dropped the ultimate betrayal, exposed Tim's darkest secret, and set the stage for a courtroom war that could end his career for good. The truth about Brenay and Tim wasn't just out, it was only beginning. And now you know. The polished Instagram stories, the smiling interviews, the brand partnerships, all of it was a mask. Behind closed doors, Brenay was silenced, manipulated, exploited, and betrayed. And with one video, she ripped the mask off Tim and showed the world what had been ignored for far too long. But let's be real, this story is far from over. Because if Brenay's promise of legal action comes true, we're not just looking at gossip anymore. We're looking at courtrooms, lawyers, headlines, and receipts that could change everything. So here's the question for you. Do you believe Brenay's story is only the tip of the iceberg, that there are even darker secrets Tim is still hiding? Should she drop every receipt she has now, or hold them back for the courtroom where it really counts? And if Tim really did father a secret child and use Brenay's name to secure shady deals, should the industry blacklist him for good? Flood the comments with your theories, your outrage, your support, and your predictions, because this isn't just Brenay's fight anymore, it's a moment the whole culture is watching. And don't forget, smash that like button if you stand with Brenay. Subscribe right now with notifications on. Because when part 2 of this saga breaks, when the court filings drop, when the lawyers speak, when the next set of receipts hits the internet, you'll want to be here first. Because remember, in a world built on lies, the truth doesn't just come out, it explodes. And Brenay's truth, it just lit a fire that Tim might not survive. Stay tuned. This story is only getting started.